Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Mansion Tours.
Yes, this week we are in the beautiful Bird Streets at this $22 million home. Before we go and have a look too in depth, let's have a quick word with the listing agent to find out a little bit more.
So we're up here at 1615 Blue Jay Way, and first I'd love to give you the stats of the house. So we are 5 bedroom, 8 bathroom, 11,500 square feet, and some of the most spectacular views that money can buy.
1615 Blue Jay is actually located on the Bird Streets, which are iconic address for Los Angeles. Very amazing story is the song Blue Jay Way by the Beatles was actually written on Blue Jay Way.
Oh wait, who would have thought that?
Right?
Very cool.
Yeah, what's the coincidence?
Iconic. And then also, this is like an entertainer's dream house. Everything kind of flows in and out. The doors slide open. There's a 3,000 square foot concrete pool deck with an infinity pool. And then all of your guests can be up here overseeing the beautiful views. The kitchen overflows into the living room, and it's just a phenomenal place to just host everybody and see where you live.
Yeah, it's really got this great flow, which I love, and especially as you were saying, because it's built into the hillside, but it's built into the hillside in a linear way,
right,
so that everywhere that you're stood, you face out to this west side sort of incredible ocean view.
Absolutely.
Well, with that said, why don't we go and check out the rest of the house?
Yeah.
I would love to.
Let's do it.
All right.
So guys, we're up on the higher end of Blue Jay Way, which gives you the most spectacular views across LA. You'll notice we've got a 2-car garage exactly off the street with an elevator directly through the house. So if you've got grocery bags or shopping, you can access any single room, including your primary suite, right from that garage. And then off the street, you've also got your own private driveway coming down with these beautiful LED accents all the way through. It looks absolutely spectacular at night. And then one of my favorite features as you walk up to the 2nd-car garage is a car turntable. Pull in one way, flick a switch, pull right back out.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feature, this.
I love that.
And I'm sort of seeing them more and more as people are building in these confined spaces in the Hollywood Hills. But while we're out here, before we go inside, I want to just talk about the outside a little bit and some of the architecture. I mean, this is very much classic California architecture, right? White stucco, big square boxes, all interlinked. You've got the cedar underlay. And what they have done here, which is a little bit different, is this sort of slate siding on the side, which takes off this big box over here. And it's really kind of cool to touch. It's very rough, very rugged, and just gives it that extra bit of texture. And then on this other square box, which we have over here, which is actually the reading room, which we'll check out later, they've clad that in some sort of metal siding. So lots of differential building products being used outside just to give it a little bit of uniqueness. What else is unique is obviously this house is very much west facing, so it's sat into the cliff. So the positive of that is that all the windows are out looking at this incredible view. Again, we'll see more of that inside. But of course, it means that there's light issues when we're trying to get light to these back bedrooms. So what the architect has done in this case is actually build this huge light well, which we'll see here, which goes all the way down 4 floors, and pushes light all the way down to the bottom. So what he's done is he's bolted all these big glass panels together, which are all adjoined to these steel columns which run through the house. So it's actually the steel which is the structure, and the glass is just a facade which sits outside of it. But it gives this really beautiful, high visibility design and structure. So when you're outside, you're parking your car, you know, your view is almost unobstructed going across to the ocean. So with that said, let's go inside?
Yeah, let's have a look inside.
All right, let's do it.
One thing that you notice immediately as you enter the property is the largest pivot door I think I've ever seen. And the fact that it's full glass, frameless, is such an engineering feat. You've got this pivot hinge there, and then the same at the top. and there's no header that runs around through the door. So it just feels like this floating panel of glass as you walk through. It's really quite impressive.
Yeah, it's super, super clean. And actually you have this inbuilt locking system in it. So you just turn this lock here and you'll see a little bolt pops out the bottom and up the top, which secures the property.
Which would lock into this little recess when you're closed.
So as we mentioned earlier, we're up in the bird streets, and there's a certain type of person that lives in the bird streets. You know, they are not generally family people. A lot of them are, this is a second home, even at $22 million, this is a second home for a lot of the people that live here. A lot of overseas people that come to LA for one thing, and that's really to show off, entertain and party. And this house is perfect for that, you know. And it's you know, a lot of the houses that we build are very understated, and that's fine, it has its place. But if you've made this much money, then why not show off? And this house is really perfect for that. So first of all, you come in, and this first floor is really just for entertaining. You have a casual living space over here, and another one over there, and then you have your views. So you have Hollywood Hills to your right and Bel Air, and then you have Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and West Hollywood over on your left, and ocean views.
You know what, so there's this little hidden room that you mentioned earlier, this little reading nook, and the reason I want to show you it is because you have this panoramic view where you get ocean views, and then you also get downtown views. Let's have a quick look. So you've got this really cool spiral staircase which leads you all the way up to this kind of hidden bonus room.
Yeah, it's a really cool little space up here, but what's even more impressive is this huge deck that is off it. And these are these white Fleetwood windows which you see throughout the house, which go all the way back. And again, you know, so much deck space in this house, it's really incredible. And just look at these views. So coming down to the second floor, you'll see our main living area here. We have the kitchen over on the right, dining, and then this living room and bar area. So let's go and explore that.
Yeah, let me show you the kitchen. It's got some really cool features. The first thing that you're greeted with immediately when you walk up is this marble waterfall that continues all the way and even takes a bow for the kitchen sink. It's not stainless, it's not composite. The sink has actually been carved directly out of the marble. Really tough detail to do, but when it's done right, it looks absolutely fire. Second thing you'll notice is this Kohler fixture with the carbon fiber inset details in it. Love that. Following straight over, depending if you're a gas man or a convection, in this kitchen actually has both. On this side, you've got the Gaggenau convection cooktops. Purists who are in the culinary industry, they still want gas. What I love about this house is you have both options. Dishwasher here.
No. We have double oven, coffee maker, and your microwave.
Now, one thing that I want to point out, which is, this is quirky, but I kind of love it. This is your refrigerator. Now notice it's a full refrigeration room, much like you'd have at a restaurant. The difference is this is residential. So when you go inside, just notice you can hear the compressor working, keeping everything ice chilled. Now, the one thing that's very cool about this is that it forces you to really eat healthy, because no matter what's in there, it's on display for whoever is here. So it's an interesting detail. I don't know if I would love it for my own house, but I love that people are making it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd put it in my home, but you know, as we said earlier, this house is all about showing off, right?
Yes.
And you do have a secondary fridge, which we're going to look at in a second. So here is very much, you know, your whole food steaks, your champagne, your oysters, your caviar. So when people are coming around, it's a full flex. You know, every opportunity to flex in this house is there. And this is one right here.
This is definitely it. Now, let me show you the butler's pantry out back, which is a sort of a fully stocked additional kitchen in the back. You'll notice you've got a really long prep sink. It's another Kohler one where you have the slide-in attachments where you can have a colander, a chopping board, so to prep all your vegetables here. Now, again, as Dougal was talking about purists, you have your Wolf range with your 6-hob burner, your griddle, and your double ovens. So yes, California is phasing out gas over the next 10 years, but until that happens, you can still cook in the back here.
Yeah, I mean, this is really much more of a purist kitchen out the back.
Yeah.
And again, if you're having parties, you're having catered events, then this is really where all your staff and your setup's going to be, pushing everything out the front. It's very well hidden. And again, more and more we're seeing in these sort of big modern homes, you have your front of house kitchen and your back of house kitchen, and it really works fantastically well.
It does. And to continue that, this is, remember earlier I talked about pulling into your car garage and coming right down straight into your kitchen. This is the elevator that takes you there. What I love is you've also got this walk-in pantry here. So you've got this all floating shelves, and it's a really good sized room. Now, as Dougal was mentioning earlier, you had those drinks refrigerators. We continue with these freezers. I've got one on the left and then another one on the right over here.
That's your fridge, isn't it?
And this is our fridge on this side.
Anyway, back out to the front. So back out front, you've got your 12-foot dining table here, overlooking your hot tub, which we'll have a look at in a second. Then your real hang space here. And then out the back, you've got this really quite incredible entertaining space. Again, this house is all about one thing, and that is throwing a really good time. Behind me, we have a really extensive, temperature-controlled wine fridge. I mean, that must be for at least 140 bottles, if not more. And then some beautiful Italian cabinetry built in behind us. And then, as if that isn't enough, you go over here to your right, and you have these built-in Fleetwood doors, which can give you a little bit more privacy if you want it, but this is your cinema room for those late-night movies. Finally, on this floor, if we just go around, and again, all about entertaining. You know, most people have one powder room, they have a true his and hers, and what's kind of cool...
See you on the inside.
is that this isn't a mirror, it's actually...
That's what I look like?
It's actually a glass see-through, which really is reminiscent of sort of the London club days and the sort of stuff they used to have in the bathrooms in the clubs back then. But we should probably not talk about that. And then just to finish off, Jonathan.
Yes, so in here, this is a more modest bedroom. It would probably be maid's quarters, nanny, granny annex, something like that. So you'll notice you've got this light tower going all the way up, acts as a fire escape, but also critically, because we're built into the hillside and all the windows are west facing, it allows a certain amount of light to pour in and not make you feel like you're in a little cave. So as you're coming down to the living quarters on the 4th floor, you'll notice we've got a continuation of these inset LEDs, which we had up on the driveway. They sort of perimeter some of the ceiling walls and the stair detail, which is then accented with these rods so that you don't fall off. It's really clean details that they've continued throughout this whole house. And what's lovely is down here, you've got 4 bedrooms, 3 guest bedrooms, and then the primary. Do you want to tell us about the guests?
So yeah, as we come down, obviously you've got this sort of central hub hangout space between all the bedrooms, and then off that you have these 3 separate bedrooms for guests. Each of them has their own ensuite bathroom and walk-in closet. And what's nice about them is that they're all decorated slightly differently with interesting stones in each. Yeah. And then in addition to the 3 guest bedrooms, we also have this fantastic gym, which is glass fronted, so you can show off your sexy physique if you've got a body like mine, or work on it if you've got a body like Jonathan's. Yeah. And again, off that you have this wellness suite with a steam shower and massage room, and a wellness bar. So entering through this incredible 10-foot high by 5-foot wide pivot door, you come into what is really quite an impressive master. And as we've said throughout this episode, this house is all about showing off and being an exhibitionist, and nothing says it quite more than this wide open window which overlooks LA. On the right, I've got a fully pivoting Fleetwood window which takes me out to my own little private deck before I get down to the pool. And then on my left, we have this beautiful bathroom, which again overlooks your pool and LA.
Let me give you some of the details of the bathroom that I'm absolutely in love with over here. So first of all, you'll notice these gorgeous shower valve fixtures. It's an Italian brand called Fantini. So you've got these body jets, these hand sprayers, and probably the biggest shower heads I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen anything bigger than
those? I think are the biggest I've seen. I think those must be, 16 inches?
At least, they're
14.
bloody massive. Like literally taking a shower in a rainforest.
Very impressive.
So coming over here, as Dougal was saying, as an exhibitionist, LA is your view and they are looking at you, and you've got this gorgeous freestanding tub that just explores this, this beautiful infinity pool out to the view. So what you'll notice is on the floor and on the walls, this is actually a porcelain tile. It's not real marble. Now, the benefits of that are that it will not stain. So this bathroom in 10 years will still look, if it's well maintained, will still look as clean and modern as it does right now.
And another benefit, of course, is that because it's porcelain and it is man-made and printed, it means that when you want to match it up, when you want to book match your stone, it is perfect. And you can see that as they've run the stone across the floor. You know, the mirroring is perfect.
Yeah, it's genius. All of these joints matching up. Yeah, the tile works really incredible in here. One other feature is that you've got these huge his and hers, hers and hers, his and his vanities opposite each other. Plenty of space, and then also with this detail, again, like in the kitchen, where the actual sink is made out of the stone. I believe this is probably a quartz.
It's a quartz or a Caesar stone.
Yeah, that actually goes inside, and then you've got this hidden drain underneath. Coming through here, you've got this lovely sort of makeup vanity station with your two hanging pendant lights either side, and then obviously a water closets split up into two. And then as we were talking to Carrie, she was saying this is potentially for a coffee maker and then just to clean out your cups so that you really don't have to leave your master suite. Now, one of the things I also love is that closet is to die for. Do you want to talk us through?
Well, let me show you the closet for sure. So entering the closet, you have these two double doors, and it really feels like you're in a Rodeo Drive boutique here. I mean, it is expansive. A lot of closets, you have this sort of big square box. I actually quite like the fact that this one is sort of broken off into different areas. It definitely means that you can designate certain areas for your shoes, your bags, your clothes, etc., his and hers, however you want to split it up. But it's very, very nicely done, and actually, this is actually some of my favourite finished work in the house. You do have these glass islands with built-in cabinetry below. These pop out as well for your jewellery, your hidden jewellery. These are glass-fronted drawers, and with your inbuilt LED lighting to show off your extensive shoe or sneaker collection. And then you have this other area back here, and these were probably structural walls. I would assume that's why these walls are built in like that. But what they've done to sort of mitigate that impact is wrapping it in this mirror, which is really a very clever way of doing it, because it sort of makes it feel invisible, but it's also just like a nice reflects light. It's a really nice touch.
Well, you're in your closet, you're going to want to see what you're wearing, and pretty much from any angle in the closet, you get this accent showing you. It looks like it was done on purpose, and I absolutely love that.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you. I did something with my hair.
Then just finishing off here on the left-hand side, you have your elevator again. So what's really cool again is you're getting out, ready to go out, looking sharp as we are, popping the elevator straight upstairs, jump in the Lambo, and we're off downtown. So that's the majority of the house. Let's have a little look outside.
So as you come out of one of the main levels, you've got another incredible deck, like you do the one above and the one down to the pool. But off this level, you've got this incredible hot tub. And as Dougal mentioned earlier, the type of buyer that's going to get a house like this is going to be somewhat of a show-off, somewhat of an exhibitionist. And that's accented right with your glass-fronted hot tub. So in there, everyone can see in, even though you're miles from anyone actually walking over, but it's a really cool detail. And then coming over to the fire pit area, you've got this continued accent wall of this slate, which sort of backs up this beautiful gas fireplace and this little seating area around it. I really like this.
Yeah, it's cool. So we actually have various ways down to the pool. We can either actually go behind the fireplace down there, or we can take the central walkway down to the pool that way. Okay, so here we are on the bottom deck. We will have almost, 3,000 square foot here?
Yeah, it's big.
We have a 40-foot swimming pool, and at the end we have a casita which we can go and have a look to. So you may actually recognise this one from your favourite TV show, John, Selling Sunset. Season 5, I believe they shot something here down by the pool.
Yep.
Now this is an infinity pool at front, and what's this detail that you call it?
It's called a zero line edge. It's where you actually have the drain. So it's a four-sided infinity pool. The water doesn't just go over the edge, it actually spills into this hidden spillway on this inside. We've actually done a similar detail to this before. It's very difficult, but looks absolute killer.
And then at the far end, and as I said, you have another big dining area, big seating area, and then a full barbecue kitchen. When you're here, actually, you really get to appreciate how pretty the house is. It really is a very well put together home. You've got the cedar interjected with the slate and the stucco.
I mean, what do you think the dirt on a property like that next door would be worth?
They're probably 5 or 6 million is the dirt.
Just the dirt. So
Yeah.
I mean, literally a tear down up here, 5 to 6 million. Bonkers.
But then they're putting $10 million into the build, and they're hoping to sell them, for 20, 25 million, So that's the maths.
Yeah.
But overall, this house, the views are fantastic. I do like the layout. Definitely, probably not one for me. I'm a family guy these days, But back in the day when we were like rocking it at 20, 30 years old, I can definitely see we'd have had a lot of fun here, and beautiful, beautiful home.
Yeah. No, absolutely stunning, and really grateful to have come and toured this one.
So with that said, please like and subscribe and follow us. I think next week we're doing a pretty cool house up in Malibu, new construction home out there, which is definitely worth seeing.